Here's a review of a very interesting firearm, sought after by many but owned by very few, the Saiga 12. You can definitely tell it's a Saiga 12 by that clip in there. It's an AK style action, produced in Russia of course, but it shoots these. The plentiful 12 gauge. Double-aught buck, of course, is the best round of choice for any type of dangerous game hunter, close range hunters. That's what's called buckshot. And I'll tell you what, it'll get your attention in a hurry. Key features of this rifle, or shotgun, it can be used as a rifle because it can actually shoot slugs, so, rifled slugs, of course. Now, the one thing about this clip, it can hold 2 3/4 shells or the 3-inch clips, or the 3-inch shells. So with the 3-inch shells, you get a lot more firepower, a lot more charge, more balls in the, in the shell. Big advantage. Another thing is that, basically it's an AK. It uses a gas puck system up here, fully selectable. You get that little screwdriver tip in there, and you select 1 or 2. And I believe that 1 is for magnum loads, and 2 is for lighter loads, such as, like light buckshot or, some type of reduced charge load, to give you, the full cycling reliability. Now, thumbhole stocks. This particular one has a Hungarian thumbhole stock on it. It's really nice, really nice and finished. One benefit of a thumbhole stock, it's usually stronger, and, it can take more abuse, and it usually doesn't get snagged in the back. It's got that bottom cut, Basically, I mean, it's the same thing as an AK. Your sights are just a typical, AK post. You got the flat bar on the back, with a notch, and then in the front you just got a small bead. So it's not too bad, for just point and shoot. I mean, it'll give you a really good sight picture in close quarters, and far-away engagement with this shotgun is not really recommended. I mean, it is a shotgun. But with slugs, you can reach out to 100 yards. I've seen it done. Now, when it comes to the Saiga 12 mags, standard mag will hold 5 rounds, and they're all in line. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, I like buckshot. That's why I got so much of it. Why hunt with anything else? I mean, why would you hunt birds with birdshot? Doesn't make sense. Use a bigger pellet to knock them down out of the sky. Okay, this is a pretty good, option for, sweeping, I guess, as many people would call it. This is a 12-round drum. I think you can get these all the way up to like about 20, 25 rounds of, firepower. I wouldn't see, 25 would be pretty front heavy on the weapon itself. I mean, when you hook this thing in, it's, this drum is actually pretty big already as it is. It's got a bolt hold open, y'all guys got to remember that. Alright, when you hook this into the weapon, I mean, that's pretty, pretty mid-heavy already. It can weigh you down after a while. But with the clips, I mean, let's see, it's being a little difficult today. With the standard clip, 5 rounds, it's real sleek, real nice, and it doesn't weigh you down really. It's just about suitable for, anything that could come your way. If you're familiar with an AK, it's the same thing. Dislodge your mag. You got your top cover right here. Now you have to press a small little D10 and push forward at the same time. And you gotta really wiggle this thing out there. But first, of course, you have to have your bolt forward. Silly me. There we go. And there's your recoil system. You have like an extra flap here. Here comes your recoil spring guide rod. And you got your bolt, you got your hammer assembly. The hammer is almost exactly like an AK. You can see it here. Even the safety lever selector switch, exactly like an AK. Pull it out. It all just comes out the back. And it has a short piston, because it's kind of like a short stroke piston system. Not necessarily like the AK where the piston will go all the way to the front. You see, this thing's got a puck that moves around in there, and I'll show you that here in a sec. Alright, well there's the puck. The puck came out. I turned on the light so you can see it just a little bit easier. Looks kind of strange, There's the internals. See that that piston touches the puck, and the puck is the one that moves forward and backwards and hits that piston. They say it's actually more reliable than an AK, setup. with the long piston that comes all the way to the gas port. But 6 to 1, half dozen the other. I really don't show a preference for either one. I mean, the AK piston has worked fine for years, and I don't see why they've changed it. But maybe for reliability issues with the Saiga 12 with 12 gauge. I'm not really sure. But it's still good design. Alright guys, well here's more of the guts, standard AK hammer, AK trigger, same thing. Now the other thing is that the Saiga 12, the hammer articulator is actually, I think it's actually longer than the standard AK, hammer sear, or trigger sear, I mean, sorry. Alright, here we go, there's the magwell, it's huge, it's got to accommodate those 12 gauge shells somehow. And here is your chamber. It's got, of course, the holes for the extractors. Your ejector is going to be back here on this block right here. It's that flat piece right there in the center. Alright, well, putting it all back together is a breeze. See if I can focus in my camera here. There we go. Alright, putting it back together, you have your bolt assembly. Just make sure that this lug right here is inside of your bolt carrier. Push it all the way forward and it'll just stay right there. Put your piston in just like an AK. Drop this down the back. Push down, it should be, and slide forward. There we go. A little bit difficult, Russian ingenuity, right? Recoil spring goes in the back. And of course you have your top receiver cover. Just kind of, prevents more stuff from getting in. Alrighty, and that's it. I mean, it's all back together. Alright guys, well, final thoughts. I've shot this shotgun many times. I can post a link to my video. At the end of this video, I'll post you a link to, so you can see how fast I can shoot this baby. But definitely, if y'all guys are really interested in a 12 gauge, that's Russian, first off, that works very well with just about any load, and that lays down a lot of lead in a hurry. Saiga 12 is probably right up your alley. Alright guys, that's the mare. Thanks for watching.